And honestly, fact checkers need to be done away with. And here's what I mean by that. Like, the amount of independence and independent thought somebody has to practice in order for them to not be deceived if they're just going through the internet today is too much for the average person. It is easier for them to be deceived than it is for them to figure out what the true thing is. And that's just too much work to put on the average person who doesn't suspect that they're being lied to 24/7.
It's too much pressure. Like that moral pressure.
Right. Well, like, look, remember when Virginia had the snowstorm? Virginia had a snowstorm. And there was an article that went out about if all of the vehicles that got stranded in the snowstorm had been electric vehicles, they wouldn't have been able to heat the car as long, and they all would have stopped and they would have shut down the entire highway system or whatever, right?
Yes.
And it was basically, that was circulating around Facebook is what was being said. And at the end of it, they were like, this would have been way worse had it all been electric vehicles because it takes so much long. You can't just bring them gas and then they're good.
Right.
That's not how it works.
Right.
You got to bring them power. And you can't just dump it in 7 to 12 minutes like it takes for gallons of gas.
Right.
You have to charge. And a remote charging station, like a mobile charging station, is significantly slower at recharging than whatever, right? So anyway, there's a fact check that comes on this article, right, that says like, no, we don't know. This is misleading to a lot of people, right? So it puts the shadow on it. And anybody that is just attempting to figure out things that are true, they read that story and they go, oh yeah, that would be worse if they were electric vehicles. Huh, I never thought of that. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, fact check? Never mind. What's it say? This is misleading. Oh, I knew it.
Or they won't even bother reading it when they see that
They just
flag.
see, okay, well, it's misleading, right? So I broke this entire thing down in a TikTok video like 1.5 years ago because it bugged me so much. But basically, when you read down paragraph like 13, paragraph like literally it was like paragraph 13 of this entire explanation said, because we don't know in the comparison which cars started with a full tank of gasoline and which cars started with a full charge, we don't know who would last longer, although gas power cars generally would last longer if they both were at full.
Right.
So they were pretending that there was all these variables that we were supposedly attempting to figure out, and they made that the reason it was misleading. It was like, no. We were saying that it is worse to sit in the cold with with an electric vehicle in order to stay warm and survive and to get along afterwards than it would have been with a gas car. And they changed the entire argument and acted like we were saying something else. And then they said, well, you don't know who had more gas in their tank or who had more of a charge, so who knows? And that's why it's misleading. And it was like, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? And so the average person is not going to read 13 paragraphs.
Nope.
I did it because I knew they were lying from the get-go because I know a little bit about cars, and I was like, I know how long cars can sit in idle, and it's like days. It's days. So anyway, they do this all the time. Well, so now that since Elon's taken over, we've got a whole new ball game. And the ball game is you're allowed to say things again. And to be honest, I feel a little bit like
gun shy?
Yeah, I'm a little gun shy on there, man. I'll see something and I'll love it, and I'll be like, wait a minute.
Backspace.
Yeah, wait a minute. That's a trigger word. They'll think that I'm...
Let me sleep on this one. I'll sleep on this one.
All this one particular group that seems to own all the media and every other source of entertainment. Wait a minute. That sounds a little bit too much like... I can't say that. You know what I mean? Delete.
Yeah.